Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most talked about WWE podcast. Welcome to Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Cooper. My co-host, Jeff, does his own videos because it just works easier this way. So we decided to review two matches from each pay-per-view beginning in 1997. And we're going to go all the way through until we can catch up to the current product. It's going to be a long while. But I think it's going to be fun for us to do and for you guys to do. So me and Jeff each pick one match from each pay-per-view, not the same one, clearly. And we'll give our... I don't know exactly how Jeff's going to do it, but I'm going to break down the match, how it happened, kind of explain to you what happened during the match, and then I'm going to break down what I thought of each match. And I'll give it a star rating out of 5. So he can do it any way he wants to do it. It's fine. We're just doing this together our own ways. And I just think it'll be a lot of fun. So the first match that was picked was for the 1997 Royal Rumble. The first match was picked by Jeff. He decided to go with The Undertaker versus Big Vader from early on in the pay-per-view. So let me break down kind of exactly what happened during this match. Vader enters first to the ring, and then The Undertaker enters second. You get, the usual long-ass entrance of The Undertaker that I know people love, but me, I kind of get tired of it. I don't like to sit through 10 minutes of him walking to the ring and all that. Like, it was probably cool the first few times I've seen it, but now I'm just old. I just prefer them to start the match pretty quickly. I'm okay with sitting through it for a second, but I just feel like they drag his entrance on way too long. The match starts off pretty quick with Vader taking The Undertaker down several times. Undertaker continues to sit up immediately every time he's taken down at the beginning of the match. After that, the match slows down a little bit. Undertaker ends up hitting a running leg drop and then body slams Vader, who they say is 458 pounds. I don't know how accurate that is. It's WWE, so, I mean, it could be, but you just never know with them. Either way, impressive feat of strength. He's a big boy. Only gets a 2 count on that. Undertaker goes up for old school. Vader counters the old school and drops Taker right on his nuts on the top rope. That's always effective, but Vader unable to capitalize on it because for some reason this early in the match he's really beat down already. We're only like 4 minutes in. I don't really get that, but either way, good counter to old school. I mean, that's a vintage counter. That's why I've never really been a big fan of old school. It's too easy to counter, in my opinion. Low blow by Vader right in front of the official. Undetected. No idea why or how it was undetected. But it was undetected nonetheless. And then they start an interview with a fan in the middle of this match. And it's absolutely ridiculous in my eyes. I can't believe that we're interviewing fans in the middle of a pay-per-view wrestling match. Anyway, Vader goes up to the top and does a dive off the top rope and takes him down. Taker ends up fighting back and ends up giving Vader a back body drop. Again, impressive. He's lifted him now a couple times during this match. Vader jumps off the turnbuckle, but again, for another dive. But Taker reverses this into a power slam. Looks pretty effective. Sounds like it hurts a lot. Vader's, again, big boy. Probably not used to falling that far. So good counter by The Undertaker there. Vader hits what they call a Vader bomb. Okay, that's just a standard power bomb. That is not the Vader bomb, but according to the announcers, Jim Ross called it a Vader bomb. Taker kicks out at 2 and immediately gets to his feet and takes control. That's how you, can pretty much assume that wasn't the Vader bomb because he got up immediately. Taker ends up hitting old school, and then Paul Bearer comes down the ramp. Undertaker sees him for a second, slight distraction, turns around, decides to choke slam Vader anyways, and then decides to go outside and he punches Paul Bearer. Then let's see, Taker goes to jump on Vader on the outside after Vader rolls out the outside, but Paul pulls him away, so Taker crashes ribs first into the gate, because you remember back in 97 they didn't have like a barricade. They just had like a standard like little steel gate Sorry about the Instagram notification. Should probably shut those out, but oh well. I don't even know if that'll show up in the video, but anyways, Paul Bearer hits Taker in the head with the urn, and then Vader hits the actual Vader bomb for the 1, 2, 3. I'm not a fan of this match, and there's gonna be a couple reasons why. One, big men matches are not usually a lot of fun. They're usually slow, and it's just kind of a bore fest most of the time. I think there's exceptions for that. Like, I feel like Undertaker and Kane, or some of the more athletic big men. Not saying Vader wasn't athletic, because he can backflip and all that stuff, but he just didn't move all that great when he was on his feet. And his matches with the Undertaker were just always super slow. And another reason I didn't care for this match too much was they gave Vader the victory here, and I would have understood it more, but after this, WWE doesn't do anything with Vader hardly at all. So giving him the win did not help him at all in this situation, because WWE didn't know what to do with him. So I feel like Taker should have went over here, since you knew what you were going to do with Taker. It'd be more effective if Vader went on to have like a world title match or something like that, where he's effective in the storyline, but he wasn't. I think the only prolific feud he really had after this was with Kane, like a year after this. And I mean, Vader kind of just fizzled out of the scene. So I don't know. I do miss Vince McMahon on commentary. I forgot how natural he sounded on commentary. So it was good to hear him, Jim Ross, and Lawler together. But this match overall, I give it a generous 4 out of 10. Not my favorite big man match for sure. All right, thank you guys for enjoying this quick review here of this Taker versus Vader match from the 1997 Royal Rumble. The next match we're going to be doing is the 1997 Royal Rumble match itself. And I look forward to breaking that down. Probably a little bit more lengthy than this video, since how the match is like an hour long. So we'll see you then.